Hello, hello, hello. Friday, the 1st of October 2021. It's Witches and Weenie Month. Oh, yeah. So I hope that everyone is doing well. I know there's a lot of pressure. Woo, do I know it. It is like being inside of a pressure cooker. Notice I had to catch my breath. Pressure cooker. It is. It is an energy pressure cooker. And it's just starting to heat up. So it's going to have many looking for that valve, that releasing valve of steam, instead of holding it all in here. That just makes you want to implode and cook everything inside of everything and say F it to everybody. And I get it. Whew, do I get it? Because as much work as I'm doing on myself, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it from, from others around me. I am feeling it from clients. Clients I can handle because I can maintain this professional thing. Friends I'm getting a little not so tolerant of, because they themselves are on this journey. But because they're not being able to handle their valves and releasements of steam, they're looking around to fight other people and creating situations to fight with other people. And that's going to increase. And if you do not see what you all have been told and warned about for a very, very, very long time, that this intensity was a coming. And then to actually get into the simmering of it, literally lose your shit, like right away. And then there's this poke, 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 poke. So don't be poking and blaming the messengers for your triggers. And don't poke and blame other people for things that you can't handle and create other scenarios of why it's occurring. It's your shit. Deal with your shit. We all mirror each other. So when someone else is losing their shit, you say to yourself, maybe I should be shit sifting too. And when you look at it from that angle of sifting your own shit, it brings you back here. Because now you realize it's not all of this out here that is causing this to want to implode. It's extremely uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable on every level. And then we're in these physical vessels, these mortal physical vessels, living a spiritual experience, not realizing it's our spirit that's living in a physical vessel, trying to live a physical it's a physical vessel that's housing a spirit, and the spirit is trying to live the spirit life, and the physical vessel is a kind of a tight container at this time. Does that make sense? So your spirit is fluid. It's malleable. It wants to soar. It wants to fly. It wants to expand. But it's contained in a physical vessel. And if you're not working your physical vessel, physically, mentally, etherically, emotionally, you're squeezing the life out of your spirit, your soul mission. Feel that for a second. Feel that for a second. And they're just showing me a picture of two things. Two. Two things. They showed me a picture of a very active puppy. And it's in a very small little crate with an open top. Like a small playpen. And it has so much activity, and it wants to go out, and it wants to go out, and it wants to soar, but this gate is just is containing it right here. And the other picture was actually a baby in a playpen when they're super active and they want to crawl out, and you're like, no, get back in there. And they want to crawl out and throw toys. No, get back in there. Put all the toys back in there. And then they're crying. And you're like, shh, you got plenty of place, and this is your space. This is your safe space. So mommy can do some stuff. I know you're in a safe space. But the child's outgrown that playpen. And it wants to throw everything outside of it. And it's saying, please let me out of here. Please let me expand my horizons and play. And this is a metaphor for this playpen. The spirit wants to be in control. It's merging of the soul. And our physical bodies have learned to be in this playpen, this restrictive way of living life, this very restrictive way of putting your life in a box so that everybody else's box looks similar to your box. And then you're just boxing around all life. Thank you. That's a great analogy. So right now, this spirit is saying, you're storing some pain in your hip. You're storing some pain in your gut. You haven't released this, right? Because we got to have this pressure cooker that comes all the way up through Mother Earth, through our body, and out the top of our head. And if we're not allowing the time during the day to let the spirit soar, and it's going to create soar. And there's spelled two different ways. It's going to create soreness all through all of this, which is making a lot of people just want to implode. And what happens when we react out of that fear? Anger is fear, anger is fear, anger is fear, okay? What happens when we react? It can be things that we may not normally have responded in such a way. Now, join forces with that kind of response with other people that are in the same frame. That's gonna lead to a very rowdy crowd that you want to avoid. Understand, everyone is feeling this, whether they're consciously awakened to what is happening, or they're consciously awakened to the resistance of what is happening, or they're consciously awake and not seeing the harmony. I mean, they're hearing the unruly band where everybody's out of tune, which is extremely painfully apparent when you listen to everybody's stuff and how it's being portrayed, whether it's the news, whatever it is. And those who are giving all these predictions and channelings and so on, some of them are great. They're very uplifting. And some of them are preparing you to expect stuff. And if you prepare to expect stuff like they're saying to expect stuff, then you're feeding that timeline of expecting that stuff. But when you bring it back to stop, drop, sit, connect with that breath, connects with the heart automatically, calms and simmers the mind, allows the blowhole the valve to release, which we can release through movement and breath, right? But sometimes we're contained in an office or a car and we just can't jump out. We gotta just stay there. So stop, drop, breathe, cancel out, delete, cancel out, delete. Really get that belly in out. Observe. While you're in this state, before you start chopping off the heads of all those who are around you, many are awake, but they may have half an eye open, but they're getting there. And if they're not in a safe place, because you remember humans need one thing in order to step out, and that's safety. Safety. Once they realize they're safe, they'll open that eye, mind's eye, the connection of all bigger. And then this one's going to open. All the sensories are going to be on board. Something ain't right. Do you want everyone taken to the street, grabbing utensils from their house? No, you don't. You want people to have their eyes open and say, okay, where's my pathway? Where's my place in all of this? I'm not going to follow this group, not going to follow that group, blah, 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 blah. You're going to create here, where's my place? Figure out where that is. It could be walking in that direction or walking in that direction. It could be sitting, meditating, doing grid work to help others, help yourself. It could be so many different things. And that's what you learn when you reach out for modalities of healing that actually help you get here, right? You can check out my website after this. If something helps you, I'll make myself available. But one of the things I'll say, and I've said, is, this is awakening. For all of us who are already here, we're holding the line. We're holding the line for you. But you know what I get? We're holding the net. We are holding the net to catch you. Because see, so many of us are already here. And as you connect, open, see what is truly happening, and you're ready because you're safe. Many of us are holding the net to catch you. Because we're all here to help, and you're going to hold the net for others. Yeah. So be with that information as the energies get intense. Remember, you have no control over anything or anyone but your own dial. You control your vibrational frequencies, you and you alone. I cannot stress this enough. No matter what is happening environmentally, nobody Nobody can change this. If you feel it tweaking, it's because your consciousness has gone over here. You mindfully need to be in this alignment. And you'll be able to feel it. And you're like, oh. I didn't man the dial until it becomes autopilot. And autopilots went, And then you're really able to reach out and help others through the steadiness of this dial. Your frequency, wherever it's the most comfortable for you. It is uniquely and authentically your DNA blueprint that creates this. Listen to other people who are channeling things of more modality, and of our beautiful galactic friends and our angelic friends and our humanoids. And remember, we can no longer be fenced in. We can no longer be in this man-made playpen where everything is contained in this little 3x3x3. Is a playpen much bigger than that? Is it a 4x4? I don't even know. Either way, it's too small. The spirit will no longer allow it. Mother Earth's spirit, her living consciousness, will no longer allow it. That's why we came here. You're on a mission to understand that the purpose of awakening to the soul spirit alignment versus just a physical alignment. And how can this vehicle be the best assistant to the soul spirit communion and union? They're saying just breathe. I love you. I love each and every one of you. And I love me. And I love the mission of my soul and my spirit even more. That is a sacred honor. Find that space. It's a beautiful place.